If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
All right, we have Daron Cruickshank on the show. He returns to action December 29th at Bellator 237 in Japan. Nice little co-promotion with Ryzen. He's going to take on Goiti Yamauchi. This is going to be a fun fight, 155 pounds. Daron, how are you? Your mustache game is unreal right now. A+.
Yeah, it's I'm getting ready for this fight, so I grow out the war stash for Japan. Since I started fighting in Japan, I've always grown out a badass American mustache, and so this is what you get.
Top notch, man. It's great to have you here. I can't believe after all these years and all the fighters that I've talked to over the years, this is the first time we're talking. And when people ask me about fights that I've seen live before, what are some of my favorites? Back in 2016, I went to an event in Boston at the Garden, and you fought Paul Felder. And although the fight didn't go your way, when people ask me, like, what are the fights that stick out to me that I've seen live, that's just one of those fights that sticks out to me. It's always in, like, the top 3 that I mentioned. So I just thought you should know that before we get rolling here.
That's awesome. That was a good fight. It was a really good fight for the fans, for sure.
Absolutely. So here we are. You're getting ready for another fight, and there's just no slowing down for you whatsoever. This could be your 36th professional fight. What's your secret to this longevity? Like, I think a lot of up-and-coming fighters who are watching this right now would love to know, since you've been going at it for well over a decade in this crazy sport of ours.
It is crazy. I just keep going. I don't know. A body in motion will stay in motion. I have a great support system here at home in Michigan. So, like my chiropractor, he keeps me going. It's crazy. I've seen him so much. I've actually gone to the same guy since I was in high school. Throughout my whole wrestling career, my college wrestling career, and in my fighting career. So, I'm very thankful for that. But on another note, it's all mental, man. You just have to keep going and pushing. I'm 34 now and still going strong.
I forgot that cupping was a thing until I went on your Instagram earlier today. There's lots of pictures of you doing the cupping. What does that feel like? What is that like? How long have you been doing that for?
Well, that's actually a pretty new thing for me. Like, I've only done it, a couple times, and every time I post about it because it's something my doctor wants to promote. But I guess it's like an ancient art, like the Egyptians used it. So it's something about pulling the muscles away, letting them relax, and I don't really know the science behind it, but it feels pretty good. So there you go.
It's working for you then, right?
Yep.
Are you still enjoying the fighting aspect of your career? Like, one of the big deterrents I found over the years talking to different fighters is that there are times they just fall out of love with the sport and competing. And, maybe you've gone through times like that at different points in your career, but right now in December 2019, are you still enjoying the professional fighter life?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to have a regular job. Like, being my own boss, I'm basically like, just like a business owner. I'm the business, and I sell my product. My product is, putting on great shows and going after people, trying to knock their head into the third row of the stands. So that is my business. And, I enjoy being my own boss. I don't have to fight as much as I do, but guess what? I love to fight. So, and I love to basically like live life and stuff. So for me to be able to do what I want to do outside of my fighting career, right, I have to make money so I can go have some crazy fun shooting guns and stuff. So I have to fight.
I was talking to Lorenz Larkin shortly after his win over Andrei Koreshkov a few months back, and many people believe that he's next to fight for the Bellator welterweight title, and he said he didn't want that opportunity right now. He wanted to fight on this card in Japan because he wanted to fight at the world-famous Saitama Super Arena. He said it's a bucket list thing for him. You've obviously fought there a few times, and you're going to do it again in a couple weeks, but can you describe what it's like to fight in that arena for someone like me who's never going to fight in that arena?
It's a pretty big arena. I fought in some pretty big arenas all around the world, especially in the States. I mean, we have the biggest arenas, I think. But that one is special because of the pride, all the pride fights that happen there. they do a very big show as far as like they put smoke in the air, and it gives you that old atmosphere of the old pride fights, which is it's a big part of mixed martial arts and the history of it, and it's nice to be a part of that ongoing the history.
So the hype is real. You get taken back by the ambiance even at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty big, and the Japanese fans are unlike any other fan base out there. Like, they're quiet. They let you fight. They don't scream like a bunch of just like rip his head off kind of stuff in the crowd. They actually, like, when you're fighting in Japan, you can hear a pin drop. You can hear everything your coach is saying. You can hear everything that their coach is saying, as long as they speak English and I can understand them. It's like fighting in a gym that is empty. Unlike when you go to practice, there's music going and all kinds of stuff. It's actually pretty cool.
Was that something you had to get used to?
You hear them a little bit, like something crazy happens, they go ooh or ah, but then they just go right back to just watching and not saying much. I think it makes for a more tactical fight because now you can hear your cornerman really well. But also, I like the fans that go nuts too. That's where I was born. That was where I was raised, in that type of fan base. But it is cool to be able to hear your corner really well.
Now you get Yamauchi, who's a very good fighter, only 26 years old, lots of experience, even at 26. Like, he's won 5 out of his last 6. One of the top 55ers in Bellator. When you got this matchup, what did you think of it, and how do you like it from a stylistic perspective?
So, I'm not a huge fan of the sport. Like, I don't watch every fight. I don't study every 155er out there. Once they give me a name, I look at them a little bit and I say, yeah, let's do this, right? Because for me, I train for everything. I train for every style of fighter, and so I'm prepared for any type of fight. And I think this guy he's young, but I don't think he's fought any strikers like me. I have a pretty good wrestling background. I can't see him really getting as long as I stay focused and sharp on my own game, I don't see him getting a takedown or pulling guard so he can hit some kind of guard submission. I know he likes to be in guard, play in guard. I'm not going to play there. I'm not going to go to his game. He's going to have to really work hard and take some shots to get that takedown.
You're in the business of entertaining. You want to put on these entertaining fights. This one check all the boxes for you after doing the little bit of research you've done on him?
Yeah, I actually think he's a pretty boring fighter. I'm going to have to create the show. From what I've seen, like I said, I don't go out and research everybody, every single fight they have. I don't like to have a whole game plan, because when that game plan goes south, then mentally you freak out. So I just see it as another fight, and whatever happens, I'm going to react to it. And a lot of times that reaction is me kicking someone's head off.
I hear the little pitter-pattering of footsteps behind me, which means that my 6-year-old's coming down the stairs. So that kind of is a perfect segue to one of the questions I wanted to ask you. You became a dad recently. Nova is her name. I saw her on Instagram. Congratulations on that. I know what becoming a father has done for me and my drive. It's not like I interview fighters because I'm a dad. This is something that I do for me. This is something that I love, but I want to do it at my very best for my son to watch and pay attention to down the line. So I'm motivated by him in that way. How do you look at it with being a fighter and a coach and being a dad? How much does that motivate you?
That's awesome. Nova Faye Cruickshank is her full name. She's just like a little God's gift to the family now. My first child. She just kind of hangs out there. I don't know. She comes to the gym now. She's only she's going on 4 weeks old, so all the fun stuff has not started yet. Me teaching her how to do things. She's still just this little thing that eats and sleeps and poops mustard everywhere. So it's it is amazing. It's kind of scary too, because now I'm responsible for another human being. So now I have to go and win, right? So I keep making money and supporting her. So that's the big scare. I actually have like almost the same dream every night or every couple nights. Like I'm in some kind of zombie apocalypse like thing going on, and now not only do I have to take care of myself, but I have to forage and keep my wife and my child safe now. So it's freaking crazy in my dreams. I'm constantly fighting zombies.
You must do well in those dreams. You have a vast array of weaponry, so you must do okay.
I stick it through.
Your Instagram is obviously a very fun follow. I love the photo you posted recently of you getting a finish in that ring, in that arena. You're flipping off the fighter, and then you pasted Goiti's head onto the body. It's simple. It's effective. It's awesome. So kudos on that, by the way.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's just a little entertainment. I'm not like a big into like shit talking or anything, but that should just like spice up the fight a little bit. Obviously I have the utmost respect for all my opponents, but at the end of the day, I'm going to try to kick your head off, and you're going to try to do the same thing. So when we're in war, when we're battle, I'm going after it.
I think we should see more of these co-promotional type events. Like, I don't want it to be exactly like boxing with the politics and all that stuff, but I like mixing and matching and seeing all these different types of matchups, that some of which we're going to see on December 29th. I doubt we're going to see a world where like the UFC does anything like this. Bellator certainly does it. Ryzen certainly does it. Do you believe we need to see more of this in our sport?
I think it's actually pretty cool because, you get to see the best out of different organizations fight each other, right? And a lot of times you don't get to see that unless they actually get cut and then they go to a different organization. I think it promotes all of MMA rather than just one entity, which is good. And it's good for the fighters too, because then we get to negotiate a little bit more because there's more entities doing well and co-promoting. So there we go.
So we got one of Ryzen's exciting fighters against one of Bellator's finishers on December 29th. Something's got to give here. How do you see this all playing out on December 29th?
I really think this might be a really fast fight, being that I'm pretty explosive. You never know where it's going to go, but I plan on trying to knock him out.
We touch on the fact that you're a coach as well as a fighter. Michigan Top Team is your gym, and I've talked to a few fighters out of there over the years, guys like Jared Brooks, guys like Cody Stamen, fighters you've had a big impact on over the years. And I was talking to James Krause the other day, and he said that he feels like he's a better coach than he is a fighter, even though he's on this nice streak right now. What about you? Do you feel like you're a better fighter or a better coach?
I've always been passionate about helping others and being a good support system and a teacher to other people. I just throughout my whole athletic career, I was a captain. My junior, senior year of high school, I was a captain. All 4 years of college. So for me, just a leadership role has always been a part of my DNA. And then when I started fighting and I started basically teaching in all these other gyms, I fell in love with it. I like to teach my philosophy on fighting, and the best thing to do is teach somebody something and they actually go and do it in a fight. So I'm a big believer in paying it forward, teaching people my family's art, and the satisfaction I get is awesome.
Do you see yourself continuing to fight for many more years to come? Like, there's obviously a lot going on in your life right now. You have a daughter, you're coaching, there could be zombies coming our way sooner rather than later. You're a big fan of weaponry and shooting and hunting and being outdoors. Do you see yourself continuing to fight 2, 3, 4 times a year for many more years?
I'll probably do it as long as my body lets me. I'm still pretty strong. I go after all the young kids in class. I'm kind of like that old bull now. I get that dad strength. But I mean, obviously you can't fight forever. So, but when is the day? That's the big question. I don't know. As long as my body lets me, I'll keep going out there.
Well, I hope you do continue to fight on for a while, because everybody loves to watch you fight, and we look forward to seeing you fight again December 29th. It's a great fight, a great event, a great time in our sport. We have a lot to look forward to, especially this month, and I appreciate the time very much. Before I let you go, Daron, let the folks know where they can find and follow you on the web, social media, any shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest. The floor is yours.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate having me on your show. You can find me at Cruickshank155 on Instagram. No, that's my Twitter. My Instagram is just Daron Cruickshank. My Facebook's Daron Cruickshank. Check out my gym, Michigan Top Team. It's michigantt.com. And yeah, watch me in the Rise fight.
All right, man. Thank you, Daron. All the best to you on December 29th.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good one.